We love it. We hate it. We hate it and love it again. Yes, it's Warcraft, and we're here to talk about it. Welcome to the WoW Reckoning Hour. Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to episode 8 of the WoW Reckoning Hour. I am Leonard, your host of the show, along with my co-host Sam, and we are here today to discuss about the chains of the RNG. But before we get into everything, we want to kind of go over what we've been up to this week. So, as normal, Sam, what you been doing?
Okay, well, I have begun to get my hunter out of Northern, so I did a little bit last night. So she's 76 and apparently everybody wants to play a hunter now to like take you out on your challenge there. Everyone's like, let's get a hunter going. So
I think Fade's gonna take me down.
I think he is, bro. I was in with him last night and he's already doing like 380k and he's only like 860 or 855.
What spec is he playing?
Beast Mastery.
Oh, I don't have to worry about anything.
Mike, if you're listening to this, I hope you kick his ass. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Let's see, what else did I do this week? Not really a whole lot of anything. Other than my priest is like all the reputation is ground out on her, so now it's just a matter of guess continuing to get the artifact power, and I've taken a little bit more time with Brookz because I really feel like I'm kind of behind on the legendaries. Like I feel like I should be getting my next one and I'm not. And so I guess I just have to up my chances. So I did LFR yesterday. Just horrible. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, a lot of the LFRs are terrible. And, you know, on the legendaries, I've been getting I got like 2 in a week. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, like everybody's also getting them too, and I'm not getting them at all on my priest. And I even went in yesterday to WoWReckoningHour8 with the guys that wanted to run it. So I went on my priest, and we only like had I think 11 people, and I was like, but I'm not healing. So I throw on my shadow gear, and I'm like, yay for my 156k DPS. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, well, not 2 in a week. Sorry, just mind fixing itself. But I got one when we were raiding. What was that, like 3 weeks ago? Yeah. And then I just got one doing some arena matches. Like I said, me and Drama, me and Tom are just destroying the 2v2 scene.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit jealous because I mean, all I need to put my everything together because we're trying to do this best in slot thing, right? All I need is that trinket, and once I get that, then you know I can start lining everything up. Because right now I'm stuck with my shoulders because they're 3rd best in slot, and my belt, which is my 1st best in slot. So I need to get those shoulders out so that I can put my tier shoulders in. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of what's the right word? A pain in my ass.
Yeah, in my derriere.
But I know you've been pretty busy with your PvP shenanigans happening over there.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've been mainly doing. That a lot of HOTS. I've been doing. I can't believe how much HOTS I've been playing. Having a lot of fun playing with.
I saw you and Daniel last night.
Yeah, we've been. Oh my God. Just because, so one of his big thing too is his wife plays well. We discussed. We both came to the decision that one thing that she does, she's a clicker.
Yes, Daniel told me.
When she plays, and it's frustrating, but because she's not a bad player. But for her level and her. Yeah, no, that's fine. But you can also be a lot faster, and it's just more adaptable. You need to adapt to, you know, take out so much stress off of you. Because if you know where, I mean, there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have your movement keys and stuff like that. So if you get them pushing away from the clicking, they can focus more on what's going on and things like that. So, but that's actually made it with Hearthstone. She started playing Hearthstone because she needs to get her mount and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And no joke, when she first started doing it, Daniel was telling me.
He told me she was clicking.
Clicking. Like, no. It's right there. It's 4 buttons. That's it.
I know. It was kind of funny because Daniel told us that on Thursday. And then I was trying to tell Andre, I was like, poor Daniel's wife, like these guys are giving her such a hard time. And she's just so used to going in. But I understand her pain because when I started playing HOTS, everything, like pretty much all of my damaging abilities, as Stinkle calls them, were bound to my, like they're kind of bound to my mouse. Like I have a mix between my mouse spines, and key binds. And so when I went into Heroes of the Storm, I was like, what is this like QW crap, right? Like I was kind of confused. So I can understand her pain. However, I can tell you, like, I tried to switch the keybinds over to what I was kind of used to. That was an epic fail. So I was like, well, fuck it. So I just learned, like, I just got it in like 2 matches. I was like, this is great. I like it.
Yeah, and she's continuously doing better. She's checking out new heroes, and things like that. So it's been very entertaining. Dana was like, "Well, why don't you play a tank class?" She's like, "A tank?" And she's like, "Yeah, you just go out there." So she thinks she can just like go in front of everything. So she'll just like take on a tower by itself and just sit there and get pounded. And it's like, no, you can't. It's not. You're not invincible as a tank.
I feel like you guys are really hard on Jessica right now. I feel bad. Yeah, I do. I think you guys need to be nicer to her.
We laugh and have a good time.
I know. You laugh at her. That's what I mean.
All right. Well, she was the Mardon or Meldrin or whatever. I can't remember his name. He's the one that hops around, the tank one. And she hopped on the other side of their tower trying to chase down one of the guys. And I was like, no, you can't. She landed. She got to come back. But we didn't have that wall or towers down yet. I'm like, you did.
Yeah. Sorry to tell you, but you did. I always played Jaina. And like,
oh, yeah.
It works out really well until I think I forget that I'm Jaina and not like a rep paladin, because I do that sometimes. Yeah. And I'll stand in there too long. But I really do. I mean, I was kind of like, blah, 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 hots. And then I'm glad like Blizzard kind of forced me into playing because I wanted that mount, because I love it. It's fun.
Yeah. They're weaving their web and they're like, no, just come see for a second.
They did the same thing with Hearthstone, but I didn't fall into that trap. I just got and got out.
Yeah, I've been playing Falstead a lot, I played him before a long time ago, and that was before I really kind of played much HOTS, and I did come from playing League of Legends before playing HOTS, so it's just learning those, and then I really was understanding how Falstead worked, and then so
which one is he?
I did play. He's the dwarf that's on the Griffin, and he can fly around the map and stuff. That's his mounted thing.
What?
Yeah, so instead of mounting up, you can just hit Z, right? And because you're always on a mount, so you just hit Z, and then you pick somewhere on the map, and then he will fly to that. It's a pretty big area, so you might have to move a little bit before he flies.
Right.
But then he flies over, and you can just drop down, and that's what I loved about ETC. But he's a tank class, which it's fine. I mean, I have his legendary skin and all that kind of good stuff. I really like that, but my DPS was always down. So this was a ranged assassin, so it's made it a lot of fun. So playing an assassin, I've been doing quite a bit of DPS. Daniel's been tearing it up. Doing a lot with that, so that's cool. Been fun. Outside of that, though, Gears. Oh my God, we've had some we've had some 5:30 in the morning nights. I
was gonna say, I was like wondering, how that was going. Your man play date there, but I guess it's going quite well. 2
days in a row. So I'm pretty tired right now. I'm pretty tired, huh?
Is Drama playing as well, or that's like, I mean, doesn't he start Drama, at like 5 a.m.?
Yeah, no, he hasn't been on, but I mean, he'll just jump in. The game has been, it is challenging, which is very interesting. It is, I mean, we're playing on hardcore. It's like the one right below the hardest, which is the hardest is insane, because I believe you have to be insane to do that one. But it's been like, there's
first-person shooter, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And we progress through, we move through things, and then it's almost like we're doing a raid. There's sometimes that we'll have the first attempt, and we haven't took on a boss yet. But there's like these waves, and like you start to see where they come from and things like that, and then we'll get it almost done in the first one, and then we died, and we're like, oh, okay, well, we're fine. And then we spend 2 hours trying to, like last night, we were like, once we finish that, we're like, let's go play. He was like, let's play HOTS or something, because I can't continue into this right now in this game. So we took it down. We moved to the next chapter, I guess you would say, in the game. And this little save point, we're like, yeah, we'll get back to you tomorrow. Because, I mean, it wears you out. Like, just getting stressed.
Did Daniel tell you about our epic +12 Port of Stars?
Oh yeah. He told me because I was like, well, guess he didn't want to play tonight. And then he's like, no, I've been in. And then he finally texted me.
Starts for like 4 hours.
Yeah. I was like, are you kidding me? You were there the whole time?
You know what? Damn. Honestly, it was that fucking tyrannical, man. And excuse my French, but it's true. Like, especially when you have, like, you've got that enrage timer on that last boss. And if you constantly have to run away, how the hell are you supposed to DPS?
Yeah.
You know, it just gets to the point where it's like, there's just some you just can't do with the modifiers. Like, it's just, you just can't. So
you'll enjoy the quick news. I have a update.
Oh, excellent.
So, speaking of which, anything else? No, I guess. I mean, I'm fine. Are you good?
I mean, that's pretty much my life, other than making tarts. I made some tarts today, which, by the way, mini pies in English.
Oh yeah, we just right before the show, she was telling me, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you know," because I know she was you're having some friends come, and she was like, "These tarts." I was like, "I don't know what a tart is," and you were explaining to me, in America, or definitely in the South, mini pie. You mean a mini pie?
I mean, we just figured out, like, I honestly, living here, coming from Canada and living here, which, I mean, you wouldn't think there's much of a difference, and there really isn't. But apparently our Englishes are extremely different. Like, you wouldn't think so, but it is very true. So there you go. Mini pies. I'm going to call them that tonight. I'll be like, hey, everybody, have some mini pies.
That's right.
From the South.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get into the quick news. All right, in Overwatch, Bastion and Zarya nerfs are now live, so keep in mind for those, as well as obviously Bastion got a nerf because there's a new hero coming to Overwatch, which is Orisis, or Orias. I think it's Orias. It's a new tank class that will be coming to Overwatch, so obvious why Bastion probably got some nerfs to prepare for that. Heroes of the Storm, new announcement, Probius is now coming to the Nexus. It's a Protoss type tune that's gonna be coming. Looks like a support, but he's gonna be throwing down pylons and Strong's little. They have a little video. It's pretty cute. It's funny. It was pretty. It was pretty awesome. Like watching the video that they posted for that. Also, some balance patch released as well, to help balance out some of the guys. There was multiple ones that got some hits, so I'm not going to go over them, but go check those out. You can go to Icy Veins, MMO Champion, or not MMO, I guess Icy Veins would be the main one that you would go check. And then Hearthstone, Journey to Ungoro, officially revealed as the next expansion. So I think we were talking about something we thought we had a leak on, which I guess we were pretty close. We just had the name wrong. But yeah, Journey to Ungoro is coming to Hearthstone.
Nice.
So, Warcraft. So, to bounce right off that Hearthstone thing, first off, the Ungoro Madness, that micro holiday, is now moved.
What?
Yeah, it moved. So, a lot of people, a lot of the theory crafters and stuff out there are thinking like this might be suspicious because they might want to have the Ungoro Madness micro holiday coincide with the release of Journey to Ungoro.
So the 17th. Okay, I'm so excited about this. I was like, dinosaurs. Yay.
If you log in, you check the thing, it's gone. It's moved.
No, it's there. It's here.
It is? It's still there?
I just pulled the calendar up. I'm like, is dinosaurs gone? No, it's ready for the 7th.
What is a blue post? Then I know they're moving. Maybe it's not going to happen until Tuesday on the patch day. Oh. So, but it's definitely, they already said they announced that they're going to be moving that. So it's a little suspicious just to see if...
Wait. You know what's nice? I think they moved it to March.
Oh, to March. Oh, okay.
Yes, because it wasn't here before. I was like, dinosaur, because there was.
Oh, that's right. Because March, we talked about March didn't have any micro holidays.
Yeah, except for exactly. And then and you said, remember the March of the Tadpoles, and you were like, shouldn't that be in March? But it wasn't. It was in April. So there you go.
Okay, there we go. So so we might. They might be. They might be getting it sooner than they think.
St. Patrick's Day, Ungoro. It goes for like all weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that should be exciting.
Yeah, very.
Okay.
So, and then PvP tuning for Druid, Mage, and Warlocks. So, go check those out. Also some item tweaking, along with legendary Kill Jaden's Burning Wish has been some just minor modifications. Basically, Kill Jaden's Burning Wish now you will pull you out of stealth if you use it. So that's something that would needed to change anyways. Also some mythic keystone changes. Some of the modifiers are getting some updates, especially Necrotic Plague or Necrotic or whatever. That's one of the things that's been doing some adjusts. So go check those out on the mythic changes. And that's really about the amount of stuff in the game. There hasn't been money. There's been, 2 hot fixes really that have gone out. So there really hasn't been much going on, but they've done some bigger changes, like with items and things like that. But as something that I did just come across is looking forward to for patch 7.2. Any hunters out there, hunters will now be able to tame new pets like owlcats, falcosaurs, hippogriffs, so on, griffins, so on and so forth. There's a whole list that. Yeah, you'll be able to learn, I believe once you finish like the artifact research or thing, when we have 2 other tiers, it's going to open up this scroll you can buy for 10,000 order resources. It allows you to learn. Now I know these animals and I can go now tame them.
Oh my God. Is so exciting.
Mm-hmm. It is because, I want to see one of the biggest things, especially as a Beast Mastery hunter. There are some of these rare pets that are out there that are part of world quests. I wonder, and like one of them is a hippogriff right over there in High Mountain. I can't remember her name. It's right by the herpes.
Wait. Did you just say right by the herpes?
Yeah, that's what I've always called them. They're annoying and they attack you. And
the herpes.
The herpes, yeah. But yeah, there's one over there. So I'm wondering if some of these are as a Beastmaster, will they be able to, are these going to be special, exotic, and will they do more DPS? Will we have some new pets out there that possibly might do more DPS, or they have a better modifier into their special ability that can also cause maybe some more DPS or something like that? No.
Anything to help out the BM hunters, right?
Yeah, they're lowest. It's all the numbers. I've seen it before.
That thing that Hook posted though, I think Alex and I were talking about that because I was like, you know what? Looking at that, they have Red Paladins as number 1. Ain't no way, okay? Ain't no way. Look at Biggles. Look at Biggles and Teaches. Like, look at them, right? There's no way. So
no, there is. But keep in mind, what he's pulling up there is the top 10% of 10%. I mean, he's pulling everyone that has every piece. They have their best in slot. All been, pretty much, or they have their 2 legendaries. They're most, the 1 and 2 slot legendaries.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, no, I've seen Red Paladins are nasty.
I just hate those numbers. Like, I honestly, I get it. People like to do it because it helps them theorycraft, etc., etc. But I really feel like for our guild, our rating, our stuff, it's just not necessary. I like the Warcraft logs because it helps to show where you're at. But I'm really excited for 7.2 because I do want to see what they're going to do with me.
Right. And one big thing, just a quick note on our raid and stuff like that. I mean, we had Biggles that's been dominating, right? It's been dominating the charts, and this was one of the biggest things as well. It's really hard to see where people really stand until we're all equal in, like, we have our 4Ps and stuff like that. Because now you see Peaches, like us. I mean, I don't have my 4Ps or anything like that, but now you see Peaches. He's gotten some gear, and he's been rising above Biggles on fights and things like that. Because we're starting to gradually.
He's coming for you, Biggles. I'm coming for you too, though, bro. Once you get here.
Yeah, definitely. But all right, so let's go ahead and get into the main part of our show. Yeah. It's the locking it down. Start with RNG. I mean, this is what this specific show is about. Is the RNG that's been going on, and a lot of different things on. I heard a friend that called it earned randomness. Which is it's so interesting, and there's so many different ways that RNG into this can be looked at. But so what are some of the things that you're noticing out there, Brookz, on the RNG stuff?
I'm pretty sure that the RNG gods have buried me in a hole 25 feet deep. I mean, I don't complain. Like, you know me, I don't complain when I don't get things. And I do have higher than average RNG when it comes to mounts. I will say that. But like, for one thing, okay, I've been waiting for the arena, the Blackrock Rumble. I've been waiting for that to pop up in the time that I'm playing, and I play quite a bit, and I check in. Like, when I'm not playing, I still come and check in every, like, 6 hours to see what PvP quest is up, because I need to do 3 more of those. And I can get that achievement and get them out. I haven't seen the frickin' thing in a week. It just bounces between Murloc Freedom and the stupid one in High Mountain. So, I mean, there's one little thing right there.
All right. So keep in mind, because you're in Central Time, right? You're just same as me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep in mind on that one, just know that at 9, 3, and 9 again, and then 3 in the morning. So 9 and 3 is when it pops. And
it has been
every 6 hours
between those two. And I checked. I've checked. Like, right now, it's Murloc Freedom. Okay.
Oh, is it?
It is again. Yeah, Murloc Freedom. Just in case you guys want to go do that. Well, I mean, by the time you listen to this, it won't matter.
I like going over there when there's actual people there. When everyone's trying to play, you have like 2 people there. They're all playing nice, and they're all running around just trying to look for Nagas. And it's like, God, just let's all attack each other. Let's all just start a brawl right here. Everyone just jumps in, and you'll be done in less than 3 minutes.
3 minutes,
so, I mean, it's so quick, and everyone just jumps in. Every 30 seconds, you spawn in, jump in. You might get some kills, and might not. I mean, it's so much faster when people just fight each other.
It is a lot faster. Another thing is this whole, I feel like I've been waiting 9 years for another legendary. Like, I got my shoulders well before Nighthold, and that's the last one that I've seen.
Right.
So, and I'm literally to the point where, and I was like, okay, you know what? When it happens, it's going to happen for me. It's got to be coming. It's got to be coming. And it's just not coming.
Right.
And not only that, but like, when we're raiding, like, how often do you see me get a piece of gear? Very few of a piece of gear that I can actually use, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, and that's fine, and I don't mind, and I don't complain, because I know eventually everyone's gonna get something. But it's like, come on, like, something, just anything, like, drop me anything, because I don't need artifact power anymore. Like, I really don't. Like, stop giving it to me, kind of thing, you know?
I don't mind the artifact power. And I know there's no way they can fix. I mean, at least they brought in artifact power and stuff like that. I do hate rolling. I mean, we only have a few coins, right? At most 6 coins, and it feels like I have to roll like 3 coins before I finally get a piece of gear. I never get but we all hold them. Like, I know I have this piece and this piece. I got the best in slot X piece off this boss, and I've already gotten that one, so I'm not gonna waste a coin. There's nothing else I need off this boss. Then I have like these few coins, and then it's like, oh, and here's the boss I need it. Artifact power is like, you just gave me gold when I looted. Now you're going to give me an artifact power? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole thing. Like, when we've got great people in our raid group, because we all do kind of like, we'll be like, hey, I don't need this because it's like my 4th best in slot. Does somebody else need it? Is this anyone's best in slot? Like, take this crap from me. And you know what, Blizzard, seriously, and we already talked about this once, but like, honestly, it shouldn't matter if it's an item upgrade for us, because you still haven't fixed the secondary stat crap that you said that you were going to fix, so that we were all going to want to, put those higher item levels on. Because those boots that I got from Star would have been super helpful for Biggles, and I couldn't trade him to him because it was a 5 item increase, and that's stupid. Yeah.
I know, I know the 5 item thing is not going. They did say that shouldn't modify anything. They were focusing on that is if the 15 to 20 type kind of item up level, and some people were keeping lower item levels because it had better stats for them, secondary stats and things like that.
So hasn't changed, right? Like, that's my whole point. Is it doesn't matter. It still didn't change anything because it's not working for us right now.
Right. And that's kind of like the big thing about the RNG, and so. There's so many different levels of it. So for one, your piece of gear needs to drop, and then once that piece of gear drops, right, and then that's your first, I guess you want to say, step, your first tier. And let's move it to a second tier. Now we need it to be Warforged, Heroic, Warforged, Titan Forged, Heroic, Titan Forged. All these different things. Then it's like doing a separate role of trying to figure out this. How these, like, because you're going against the grain. It's the system, to me, when you look at it from a whole, the system is against the player at all times. Because I mean, you're looking at, I'm here in Vegas, I'm trying to, I might win when I pull, I'm at the slot machine, but and it just depends on how long you sit there and until you finally win one. But it makes it so difficult, and I just don't understand why they have moved into this separate tiers. And what's coming in 7.2, we're going to get another relic slot, or relic slot's going to have an extra thing on it. So now
we can't even get the relics that we need right now.
Yeah. Now we're going to get relics like they're crazy. And then we're going to get one of the stats we needed. The other one that's going to come with, because now it's going to come with 2 buffs or whatever. Now the second one is going to be something I don't want. And I'm like, and then I'm going to be like, well, flip.
Yeah, you cannot, and that deserves a fuck. You can't like really flip that one. That one's that's definitely a big F-bomb. I really have a hard time swallowing this, because remember we talked about this before, and I said I really think that they need to change the system, especially for the tokens, especially if you're on Master Looter or on Loot Council or wherever, where that token needs to be color coded to some extent, so you know what it is. Like
go ahead and
silver, gold, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, go ahead and tell the viewers like what you're talking about on that, because I thought this was a really interesting idea that could definitely be really nice.
Okay, so so let's break it down. So a lot of people, because they want that 4-piece set bonus, a lot of people are using LFR gear, right? Because that's, everyone runs it every week except for me, because I hate it. But anyway, so a lot of people, especially in our raid group right now, a lot of people have a 4-piece, but they don't have like what I would call a legit 4-piece, because they're using different pieces. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. That's LFR gear. And so to me, that's not a legit 4-piece. So they still need those pieces out of normal or heroic to like justify their 4-piece bonus. Now, some of us, like me, for example, I have not seen legs drop off Gul'dan, and we've killed Gul'dan a bunch of times now, not on heroic, but so I have yet to see the actual legs drop for Paladin class. But okay, so we have gloves, helmets, shoulders, like all those pieces we've seen that are dropping, and when they drop and they're a token, nobody knows what the heck item level they are. So some of us already have these pieces, but I don't roll on them because I already have that piece, and that piece might be an 875, or is it 875 is the starting, right, in normal? So 875. Okay, so like I have the helmet of the High Lord, right, which is my best in slot head, which is fine. So it's 875, no big deal. And when that drops, when I see it now, especially on normal, I don't roll on it. And even in heroic, I don't roll on it because there's other people that don't have this bonus. They don't have the set piece. But what if that drops and now it Titan Forges, and it happened because I didn't roll in it, and then Drama got it and it Titan Forged for him to like 890 or something. So like that would have been great for me, because it's his best in slot too, but it's my best in slot, and I didn't roll on it because I didn't want to be greedy. So what I think that they should do for those of us who are looking more for our best in slot, I think that what they need to start doing is they need to change those tokens. So if it's like, I'll just use bronze, silver, and gold because it's something that, all us winners here in North America can relate to. So bronze should be like your normal, just like your normal 875, 880, I guess. And then your silver, like whatever. Okay, sorry, I'm not explaining this right. So the bronze should be the normal tier, like the lowest tier of that, like normal, heroic, or mythic. Like that should be that. And then your silver should be like when it war forges, and then a gold should be when it Titan forges, so that your loot master or your raid leader knows, hey, this is just a regular, normal, lower item level for this class of raid. So whoever doesn't have this piece and needs it for their 4 set, or needs to have, because I mean, let's be honest, there's 6 pieces, and I'm sure that as people get more and newer legendaries, or as the game adjusts and changes, we're going to want to swap pieces out. So it's probably best if you have all 6 pieces.
Right.
But that will allow, so if no one needs that, and now it's a bronze piece, a silver piece, then the raid leaders can go, okay, well, you need an upgrade, you need an upgrade, you need an upgrade. Let's figure out who it's going to be most beneficial for. Because right now, we don't know. It's a crapshoot. And the pieces get wasted, and then you have people who are like, well, I need to upgrade my gear, and if I don't roll and it doesn't, like if it just is normal item level, then now I've wasted it. But if it Titan Forges, great for me.
Right.
But we need some help here, Blizzard. Like, we need something to direct us because this is stupid. Like, we're just wasting loot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that can, and they can even make it where it can still get like a heroic Titan Warforged or something like that. But just knowing that here's bronze, here's everything, no Warforged, and then silver Warforged, and then Titan Forge for epic, and it's still a chance on like you might only get 2 silver ones in a thing. It's not assuming that you're only going to get or you might just get 1 purple one. You got lucky.
But we just want to identify. We just want
to know who should be rolling, because once they roll and they open this piece, then they can't trade it. They can't do anything, because especially if you were the only paladin and it was linked. What you linked with paladins, shamans, and
it's paladins, priests.
Priest, okay.
I think.
Okay. So if you open it and it's something that's worthless for you because you won the roll, you can't. It's not like you could give it if we had another paladin, which we do. But I'm just saying, for argument's sake, there's no other paladin. You're the only one.
I can give it to them if I already have the piece.
Right.
I can give it to them. However,
I know that's what I'm saying. But if you're the only paladin, you can't give it to the locks or the priest or anybody. It's gone.
Or you know what? If you don't want to color code the system, then change it so that it will be tradable to the other classes and will swap upon trade to their piece. Because this, I don't know, I don't understand what they were thinking. Like, it used to be for us, it used to be really simple. And I'm sure we're not the only guild that's having this issue, but this now brings up the whole problem with like, how do you distribute the loot? Because you're looking at it from the perspective of, if it's personal loot, you're wasting it. If it's master looter, nobody knows, and we're we could be losing it. Same as DKP, same as Loot Council. So it becomes extremely frustrating, and it makes it very difficult and can cause serious divides and problems in guilds. So they have to address this and fix it, because how are you supposed to build, going through normal heroic and then going into mythic, how are you supposed to build your group to get into mythic if you're constantly second guessing what the loot pieces are going to be?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I definitely miss the days that with this whole RNG, even out there in the world, I definitely miss the days like when you go in, here's a boss and here's a piece of gear, a loot that I want off of it. Yeah. It dropped. Yes, I finally got it. Now you, like I said, you're excited. Maybe your piece dropped, but then you immediately look at the eye level and it's like, oh, this one's less than the one I have.
There's no sense in using this one. Yeah.
Now, like you just like broke my heart. You just kicked me when I was down. It's like, I need this piece.
Or you rolled on it and now you stole it from someone else who could have used it, and that's not helpful in a guild group.
Right. Yeah, and with the whole personal loot stuff, so here's a complicated way to explain this, but if y'all really start to pay attention to when you're getting pieces of gear, and you're getting loot from different, running a dungeon, doing these different things as you're leveling up, even when you're not leveling up, doing world quests, anything you want, you'll notice different ways that you're getting pieces and seeing when they upgrade of pieces that a lot of times it's pieces that you don't need an upgrade on. I have my legendary belt. I get Titan Forged belts all the time. All the freaking time. It's like, if this belt all of a sudden gets this magical Titan, I was like, I have a 940 and I don't need anything. Anything you want to give me is worthless in this spot. Now there's other pieces that I'm like, I really need a Titan Forge into this, or a War Forged, or anything better than the base stat or base, 975. And then I just always get a 975, or I might get a 5 eye level higher or something like that, or lower, something like of that nature. But you really start to pay attention, and it's really hard. Like when you get that chance to upgrade a piece of gear by eye level, and it's your best in slot, you're only helping for maybe future like Titan Forges and things like that, because it seems to favor on highest eye level pieces. And so moving into how this is working, and I just think that this algorithm that they have into this is just it's probably too complicated to be able to fix at this point. But how it's rolling and how it's doing that is it's really changing the way, and that's why when we go like what you were saying, like, and how we handle in raids, is we've tried a couple of different things. So guys, like for the raiders that are out there, there's different ways that I feel, to me at least, in how I look at it, is a fix into this. And I know a lot of people usually are used to going into raids a lot, especially if you're doing it in a pre-made group or anything like that. But going through your old guild, a lot of people, it's easier on officers and guild leader and stuff like that, just to keep everything personal. Right. But if you keep everything personal, it's really upgrading. You're getting that chance, but like I said, if you've watched all this stuff, it's really going off certain item level pieces, and it's like saying, here's the max you can earn for you, not here's a random roll on something. That's what it feels. Because I mean, just start to pay attention to what you're getting upgrades to. A lot of times, it's going to be legendaries that you have in Socketed. You get these nice Titan Forge on those, and then every so often you might get something. But if you really start, it starts to become more normal. And I know as a raid group, we've a lot of people don't understand. Like, we've gone into Master Looter now, and see, Master Looter goes into a whole different idea of this, because now you're actually getting a random roll, because it can't say everyone's, the eye level of everyone. So now it's like, okay, here's some pieces. Now it does, when you do Master Looter, you will get these tokens, which is, instead of just seeing a piece of gear, a tier gear, it's just a token for this, just like how it was in the old days. And then as soon as you get it looted to you, you click it and it makes the item right there. There's not a vendor you go turn in for this piece or anything like that. Nope. So,
which we wish there was again, right? Because it's so much easier.
But then we would have no chance for upgrades,
But that's the whole point. Like, I don't even know why they did that in the first place anyway.
Right. I think they should just made it like they used to. They had normal and heroic, and now, mythic. I mean, you got a tier piece. You got that eye level of that tier piece. But I understand that they're doing it. I mean, Blizzard, congratulations. I will say, I will promote this system in the chance that you've now given it people that don't raid chances to get gear. They can do dungeons. These mythic pluses have been a huge hit for Blizzard, and all the casual guys, or maybe just some small guilds out there, or like they only have like 5 friends. They're like, man, why can't we just do something where it's just us 5? Now they can. So congratulations on that. I know that's been a huge hit into that. But now we're going to like the raiders and how we can move. So like I was saying, on the Master Looter has been something that's been very interesting, because we're actually seeing pieces outside of the token, but now we're getting pieces. I'm seeing pieces I've never even seen before, and some of them are my best in slot, some are other people's best in slot, but it feels like we've increased our chances to a certain level. That is, and if you all have a chance to, it doesn't always work out. We don't always have it work out for us, but if you can get 20 people in your raid, do it. It's well worth it. You get like 5 pieces of loot off each boss instead of the 3. And most of us are going in with like 16, 17. So the 3 other people is well worth getting 2 extra pieces of loot, especially on spell when so many relics can drop. Yeah. We need 20 to go into mythic anyways. But which we do have 20, but I mean, this last week was kind of crazy with people on vacation or yada 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 through that process.
Yeah, who goes to Disney World anyway and ditches?
But yeah, Daniel. But no, what is your take on some of the things that we're trying out in raids?
You know what?
On the loot stuff.
I just forgot. We did not, in the quick news, we did not announce the fact that our very good tank Hillidan became a dad for the second time.
Oh, yes. Yes.
We totally forgot. So congratulations to him and his wife. Yeah. And for everyone listening, it was a baby boy, and he is doing just fantastic. And poor Hillidan has been raiding from the hospital. So for any women listening out there, yes, I know you probably want to be like, how did your wife not kill you? But she's very understanding and is the exact opposite of wife aggro. So congratulations, Hillidan, and to the brand new baby boy.
Right. And you know what? She also plays, so she understands.
Yeah.
A lot of people that don't understand because they haven't taken the time to understand. Like, if you're with someone that does play this game, take the time and understand why they do what they do into this stuff, because a lot of this is a lot of work, a lot of time and work that you put into this game to get something out of it. So it's not easy just walking away when you.
Yeah, it isn't. It really is your life, honestly, But anyway, you were saying, sorry, I just remembered, and I was like, we need to say something because it's important.
I've been playing games, which I don't I hardly ever do, but these last couple of days, like 5:30 in the morning, so I'm tired.
Yeah, but we love you, Helidan, and we wanted to tell you we did. So.
Congratulations, man. But yeah, no, on back into, I just want to see, what is your take on how we're going from personal to we'll take it just from personal to master looter. Have you seen the changes, or how do you feel? Do you agree with this? Just what is your general idea and thoughts of it?
This is a hard question for me, just because I have a mixed bag of feelings about this kind of stuff. My first feeling is that I think that whatever is best for the raid group as a whole is the best thing for us to do. And I think that Master Looter does give us a little bit more of an opportunity to be able to, I feel like, to be able to share the gear around and to allow pieces not to be wasted. But I still stick to my standard of those tokens are dumb and they need to be fixed, because it causes the most problems as far as I'm concerned. However, that being said, I have a little different philosophy than a lot of people, because I do not whine about getting gear. I don't bitch. I don't moan, because in my experience, my best raiding experience was when we were raiding in Kata, and I was raiding with Andre and Mike and Stinkle and Alex, and we never had a problem. It was a 10-man when we raided. There was a loot council. It consisted of Stinkle and Doc, and I think that there was somebody else in there. I can't remember exactly. It wasn't me, but and they were always fair, and they always had a reason, and we were all just content to know that eventually, maybe it didn't happen this week or next week, but eventually there was going to be the piece that we needed, and we were all going to get our tokens, and we were all happy with that. And so for me, I've never worried about being geared, and I think everyone does a really good job in our raid group. I mean, granted, sometimes people pull more DPS than others, but there's people that are better at mechanics than others, and I think that all that needs to be taken into account. So I do not believe that the gear should be given to the best DPS person. I think that it should be distributed evenly throughout the people, because if I'll just use an example. So my DPS, let's just say I sit around 6 or 7, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the fight. And let's say death is at number 4. Well, and not that the gear that we would never share gear, but I'm just doing this as an example. So let's just say that, they look at it and they go, well, death does better DPS than Brookz, so we're just going to gear death out until his DPS hits max, until he has all his best pieces. But now you've just taken anybody below him and basically said, like, well, you guys are stuck until we gear out the best DPS. That's not it. We need to gear out the people that aren't quite doing the best DPS so that they can bring their level up for the good of the raid group. That's how I feel.
Right. Yeah, most definitely.
And I don't necessarily always think, and I know people get upset because, again, with Master Looter, it's all about RNG in your roles. Mm-hmm. So, and I know that I feel like this token system causes more drama than it's actually worth. That's my opinion. Right. And I know, like, for our guild, there has been some discussion as to which way we're going to go with this, because we need to make some decisions and stick to it. So I know for going forward that we're moving into a loot council. So hopefully that will help and solve problems. Right.
And that, I mean, Loot Council is. I totally agree with Loot Council, because there's so many different things, and I don't. Keep in mind that this whole thing, for anyone, like all the people listening and stuff, like, this is this is something that I feel. Why more raids should do this is just because it's our chance. This is how you can potentially beat the RNG. Now the house is, instead of it being on Blizzard, just like in casinos, the house always wins. They're at 51%. Mm-hmm. I believe that now this shifts it back to the Raiders are now have that are the 51%. Now we're the house, and we have a more chance of winning and moving forward into that. But I don't like the mentality of. And I know this is probably going to get hate, but I don't like the people I do like the people, but I don't believe into the idea of gear will come. Gear will be there. The only reason I say, and for a perfect example of this, is when we were doing Emerald Nightmare, mm-hmm. we did it all the time.
Yeah.
I did it on LFR, and I got during that time as we were building and moving forward into that and heroic. I got the bloodthirsty trinket off of your sock.
Yeah.
And then when we were raiding in heroic and we were clearing it all in one day, we're just going in there having a good time before we're moving and doing other stuff. I saw it drop one other time. Mm-hmm. I've never seen it drop again. I've only seen that thing drop twice, and one of those was an LFR. Okay. So when gear will come in time, yeah, if you keep going, I guess. But I mean, how they're coming out with these raids, I mean, by the time we have, if you look at it, and when you're clearing this stuff, you only can do it once a week, right, guys? So you look at March and April, probably new patch is coming towards the end of April, somewhere around that. Is prediction. Obviously, it could be further than that. Blizzard didn't say anything, and then we're looking at least a month out before the new raid comes in. By that time, we're probably going to feel pretty comfortable getting ready for the patch and then doing all the new patch stuff that's out. We're probably going to be doing some raiding and having a good time and just kind of rolling through stuff as we push into, and we'll be probably already doing mythics or something like that. But keep in mind that so it's now March, so we're looking at probably like 8 more times we're going to be really into like Nighthold. That means 8 more boss kills on each boss, so 8 more chances. And so I mean, it's easy that some of our best in slot stuff we still might never see if it's kept to a personal standpoint of like personal loot, whereas the loot council is kind of like I said, we're or not loot count but master looter is kind of we're winning on that, and the loot council to me is just keeping it fair. Whereas not everyone can just roll on a piece of gear. There's some people, and I agree with you, that just because you're top DPS, it doesn't mean that you should get this piece, because it's supposed to be helping the raid as a whole and moving forward, through that process. But you also don't want to negate someone for being top DPS, and that's where it goes into very, very weird stuff. Going into the loot council and things like that, and that's why I still believe into DKP. I think that was perfect. You get to, if there's a piece that's just amazing for you and you really wanted it, and a lot of people potentially might want it, but that's something you wanted because you probably don't use it's kind of like an extra coin system, Yeah. And all of a sudden there's other people want it. It's like, no, I'm not going to let you have this. You've gotten plenty of pieces of gear, and that's where also Loot Council helps through that process. But where to say, hey, no, I'm going to use, I have 60 DKP. I know there's no one else here that has more than 60. So I'm just going to be and then just wait for the bidding to start. And if the bidding starts, I'm like, I'm using all my 60. That's my piece of gear. That's mine. And you're picking and choosing when you want to choose that battle. But it's DKP is a really hard system to maintain. There's a lot of
work goes into it. And for me, I like the idea.
Stuff, yeah.
I really do like the idea of DKP. I think that it's kind of like a merit-based system, which I completely agree with. But again, I feel like, where do you start off? You know what I mean? Where do you go? So if we were going to move into a DKP system, which I'm not saying that's what we're going to do. I'm just throwing that out there. We're just periodically discussing here. Whew. Just before everyone's panties get all up in a bunch. I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, put the pen down, Steve. We want you to get off the interwebs. Just put it down there, bud. Don't just calm down.
Yeah, it's all gonna be okay, guys. I promise. Anyway, so I guess what you could do is going into starting into the Tomb of Sargeras, or Sargeras, or however you say it. Maybe there
Tomb of Sargeras, yeah.
Maybe that would be a kind of jumping off point. At this point, I don't know, but I do like the fact that DKP is merit based. However, right. I will say that for Loot Council, that it is important to ensure that you have people that you really feel are kind of a neutral ground, because I mean, we have a great group of people right now, and I say this all the time because I just want everyone to know how much I appreciate them. But so I'm the guild master of this guild, and this is the smallest that we've all been together that the guild's ever been. Because before in Cata, which is when we were most active, we had 400 people in our guild, and we had multiple, we had amalgamated, taken guilds and brought them into us. So there was a lot of different kind of tension, and there was a lot of 10-man raiding or groups that were raiding out of our guild into different things. So we took a lot of flack back then because it just so happened that the group that I was in just happened to be mostly officer based, because that's the group that we had before I took over the guild, kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I know that when it can be very touchy. It can be like, oh, well, they're friends with so-and-so, so they're just giving them the loot. And that's where I always come back to, it's pixels, yo. Like, it's not real. You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to be doing this because it's fun.
Right. Well, I agree with you on to like 90%, 10% of it when like the pink, like it's, but there is, yes, it is game. It's fun. But like I said, like we've all talked about, there's a lot of time that we put into it. So you also want to say, if you were to go into a job and you were there for 15 years, your whole idea going into the job is to move up, and you're at the same position when you first started. And you've only proven yourself in every way, but you haven't moved yet. And they're like, well, it's just your job. And it's like, well, I want to progress in my stuff. So kind of like, and that's a little bit obscure, relation into that. But if you kind of see what I'm saying, like it is, but there's, it's just, it's those rare times that like, here's a really good piece that doesn't really drop all that often. And it got, more Forge, Titan Forge. And then he gets like, oh my God, this is the chances on seeing this again, slim to none. And that's where we said before too, these guys that do these mythic races, I mean, people are doing mythics and stuff like that. They're the ones that get the most gear because they go in there on heroic, they clear it to help, help press, because there's some really good pieces that can still drop from there. And then they go into mythics and they're getting it. So, I mean, they roll around in the gear, to help progress them through that stuff. But, going through the loot council, in my opinion, is really good. But, it does take into account. So when you have a loot council, if anybody raids or anything like that, or choosing or trying that out, and kind of maybe you are getting into maybe arguments or whatever it is, when you're picking your loot council, it is unbiased parties, but it's people looking at it and just kind of like how Brookz puts it, like as pixels, not like, hey, you'll see it again, but just looks at it as pixels. What is it going to better help your raid group? If there's I understand, but there's a lot of things that loot council has to take into consideration. It's just not who is this piece best for. There is time that people have been there as well. Hey, this person's here every week, and he always does his best. He's there, he's on time, he's early, or whatever. Could be that case of that player is being there, so that you can depend on them. So that does, it's not a huge factor into it, because you're all, when you're looking at everything, and then how long they've been in the guild. Someone new coming in, you don't know if they're just going to peace out after they get something. That's right. Or when they get geared and all of a sudden they stop showing up. I mean, everyone wants to show up when we have stuff on farm. Exactly. And I mean, everyone shows up on those days, it's that kind of thing. So, I mean, all these little things you have to take in consideration when you're doing loot councils. So when you are choosing your loot council and who's going to be on those, just keep in mind that no matter what decision you're going to make, you have to feel it comfortable for the raid. And between everyone agrees, during when it's going into loot council, and everyone is on the same page for that, because no matter how good you can do it, you're going to get flack from someone on something. Yeah. They're going to have their standpoint and their argument why they think they should have had that. Why'd you give it to that? So, it can potentially at times be where you have to answer to, and I know if you're loot council, you're probably an officer or something like that. So when you're moving into those things, it makes sense where you're like, hey, it's my decision. It's done. You knew this coming in here, so on and so forth. But I mean, if y'all have made a decision, that, be like, well, it's because of this, this, and this. He's been, doing this, 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 and this. It should be in and out and done. If you are a person arguing with something, don't argue. That's just, it really hurts your case when you are pressing into those things. So just ask, is there a reason why I didn't get that? So present your questions to them. If it is something really, because we're all going to see it at some point. Even us, we're going to see something. There's going to be a piece of gear that's going to drop, and
and it's going to break your heart when it goes to somebody else.
Yeah. It'll make sense and why sometimes I'd see it, but then at the same time, I can't predict the future, obviously. But I mean, I'm sure, even me personally or someone, I'd be like, why did that go to that? That doesn't make sense.
Everyone's going to have that feeling. And everyone's going to get butthurt about stuff. It just is what it is. So, I just know, it is what it is. So, but that's okay, because we're all entitled to feel a little bit butthurt sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. But it's very interesting. I'm very excited as this progresses. But kind of a roundup. And it looks like we're actually gonna get done on time today.
Oh my God! It's all because I have to go make mini pies.
But no, kind of like just a Reese. Oh, we got Daddy's home, huh?
I don't know if Daddy's home or it could just be the random person across the street because we like to let everyone know that we live here. It's probably not Daddy. It's probably definitely some random person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But just a quick roundup on everything. Just go into this. Keep in mind that y'all try it out. If you haven't tried it out, get off personal loot. Go in with your own raid. Do Master Looter. You'll see kind of what we're talking about. I think it's beating the RNG. So give it a try. If you don't like it, and y'all like personal, y'all feel more progression on personal. Do that. Do what makes you happy. But if you are getting you're going into raids and you're hating what you're seeing, just try something different. And that's what we're doing.
Oh, now there's two.
But
this is fun.
Yeah. But other than that, let me think. Dogs barking. Nope.
And all, just so everyone knows, they're the sweetest dogs in the world. Anytime you want to come over and have some mini pies, come on over. But you might get barked at.
Mini pies. But yeah. Other than that, guys, still reach out to us. I know a lot of people. That listen to our podcast and things like that, as well as other ones that we go over information as it's coming in and things like that.
Why don't you guys ever talk to us? Huh?
Yeah, just email us. It's easy. WoWReckoningHour@gmail.com.
They don't even have to email us. They can just go to YouTube and make comments down below because we like that too. It's so much easier than having to email. But you guys never talk to us. I'm starting to feel like no one's listening.
Definitely have people listening, but yeah, just reach out to us. It could be about anything. Obviously, if a question or something that we can go over and talk about, then we definitely will. Give you a shout out there. But the show's growing. So thank you everyone that listens to the show. The show is growing. But that's where you can find me and us, or me and me. And the show is the WoWReckoningHour@gmail.com. We're also on the Facebooks. We're on the tubes now. We're on the tweets. And but yeah, just come out there, reach out to us. You have any questions or anything like that? Other than that, Brookz, where can we find you?
Just on Twitter, YouTube, just Brookzverse is pretty much where I am. And again, you can follow me there. But just talk to us on YouTube, guys, because we like it. Mm-hmm. And I can post more pictures of my chinchilla with his balls hanging out if that's what everyone wants.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, and guys, and Brookz is really mainly tasked with with the YouTube parts of the show and things like that. So she'll be reaching out, and then if it's a question you have that can be more geared towards the show, like I said, throw us your handle that you want to be let us know, or if you just want to tell us your name out there, then we'll say that. It's nice to hear yourself sometimes. So, but other than that, is there anything that you are looking forward to this week other than what you're fun that you're gonna have today? For this week?
I am totally looking forward to A, leveling my hunter, and B, us downing. Who are we working on?
Titch.
Right? Yeah, right. We're gonna kill him, and then
hey guys, we killed Star. We killed Star. We've gone there. Oh, all we have is no. We killed Titch. We're working on Botanist.
Oh, that's right. We are working on it. So we just have Botanist, which we're gonna down him on Tuesday. But then we just have Alexander and
less errors. And a lot of people don't realize. It's actually funny because a lot of people don't realize that when they think when the third but he splits into his third portion, so it's basically phase 3. They think the boss is down low. He's not, guys. He's at 50% at that time. So we've at that time, and that so they gave you a taste every 10 to 15% or whatever. You're getting a taste of how the boss is going.
It's a rotation.
Just learning a piece, and then it says now do all the now we're gonna add something, and then we're gonna add a third thing, and now take it all on.
But it's just a rotation. That's what people need to learn. It's just one mechanic after another. None of them overlap, unless of course you don't down the ads fast enough. And all you have to do is just be like, okay, now I'm gonna do this, then this, then this, then this, repeat. So that is it. We've got it, I think. And
yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean that's all it is, literally. And as you get lower, he comes faster with adding. Spears are coming in. Here's more ads. I mean, everything starts faster because he's about to. I'm gonna die. He starts freaking out. So, but yeah, I think we did. I think we've done really well on that boss. So I think we got him down to 4%.
The turtles, they're hiding in the grass.
That was the time we had him down to like 4%, and then the fucking turtles came out from somewhere. Like, what the fuck?
Those turtles, man.
We missed one, and it was just sitting there running around raping Range in the back, and a lot of people listen. You're like, why don't you just turn and kill it? Like, for one, the turtles are freaking a bitch to kill, and two, it's like there is at that you're looking we got them down like below 10%, and we're pushing, and we're taking care of it. And then there's this little fucking turtle running around fucking acing like our Range. We're like, where I didn't even see him until I was like dead. I was like, where the fuck did this turtle come from?
Not only that, but like seriously, Blizzard, you picked a turtle and a seagull to be the most hard and annoying things in the whole game. Like, I would rather fight Gul'dan than a turtle. Like, for real. Yeah.
I think, to me, Blizzard, hats off to you, bro. That's to me. I think it's
turtle
funny.
Hiding in the bushes.
How many times have you seen like a turtle or a seagull or just a bird? All this little crap that's out there, and you're just like, hey, look, I'm just gonna like AOE because these are all gonna die. I can handle it. And then don't ever do it to a seagull or a turtle because they hang on you so much for so long. You're like, stop hurting.
That seagull will follow you to the ends of the earth to kill you. It ain't no joke. Like, it ain't no joke. Like, you're on a mythic freaking plus 14 in Ivashara. Those seagulls ain't your friends, okay? Yeah. They will kick your ass and hand it back to you.
We can go, Stormwind and have an easier time than it is.
Yes, it is actually easier to go fishing in freaking Ironforge than it is to deal with those seagulls.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's once again, everyone, check us out. Definitely reach out to us. Everyone that does listen and everyone potentially reach out to help, build the show and everything like that. Thank you so much. But other than that, I hope everyone has a good rest of their week and remaining weekend, and we'll be talking to y'all next week. But hey, don't forget, keep calm and fly on.